This short clip is from my live trading room. You can engage directly with my fabulous team and me at LaDucTrading.com for all our research and trades. Or for just my daily live streams, you can access via YouTube memberships. All links are in the description. And I'm highlighting the crack spread, which Thursday this morning was in this neck of the woods. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, refiners, you know how I have been on this, and client Brian has been very, very supportive of this thesis. But basically, this was his strong opinion that even before the war, just with what was going on with Venezuela and the downtime, just the whole seasonality of it, that refiners that we have been recommending would go higher. And then the war picked up, and you see this crack spread that has expanded 100% from the mean. But the point is, this is not something that is done going up. This is the top refiners back in March 2022, and we've gotten kind of ahead of our skis in some regards. There will always be some consolidation and some headlines that interrupt, but big picture, I don't think this conflict's going away. This has turned into a jihad against the United States. The U.S. just downed a submarine that was coming back at the invitation of India, 120, 130 Iranian soldiers killed, and there was no provocation. Again, just because we have declared war and they're 2,000 miles away. So there's no way in my mind that this is going to go away anytime soon. The U.S. has its headsets saying this is a religious war, anti-Islam, but the Shia are also saying this is a religious war and they are a nation of martyrs. I don't see how this is going to get de-escalated anytime soon. Refiners are a great way to play the oil market if you don't want to do futures and rolling and worry about the whipsaws, which, by the way, if you're experienced, go for it. You'll make amazing money. But the point is, crude oil, all that stuff, I firmly believe this is a much hotter market, but one safer way for those who like options on equities is just to stick with the refiners over this year. So we're not just talking about Valero coming up off the 400 week, which you know darn well it wasn't going to go away. That's my line in the sand. If companies you think are on the 100 week and below need to come back up, or they bounce on the 100 week, it's a really great place to invest for a trend reversal, which this did. And then, of course, it continued higher and it was just gorgeous. It made a little bit too much of a pullback, but I was still bullish. And then Venezuela, and then sideways. And then, oh my God, the earnings and the fact that they are processing Venezuela oil is, now that we have a war in Iran, where distillates are massively in demand, refining is constrained, and then the rest of the world is taking their stuff offline. These refiners are just amazing. This is something Iran risk is not priced in. I see VIX moving higher, big picture. I see the market pulling back March to May. Then I see refiners moving higher. This is all working. Now, I want to talk about one other sector, which is oversold value, and in particular, these guys. Now, do you remember Dow? This was back in November. I was looking for stuff, and I know specialty chemicals is not a safe bet here. Look at how this is, oh my gosh, just amazingly oversold, left for dead, but it perfectly fit my rotation theme. Remember that in November? Okay, so I started spying this, going, I really, really like it, and then it started to behave. This is now in December. Now we're getting going in January. Now we're really, oh, beautiful. Just need to stay above this 26 for DOW. And then it did shake and bake. It blows out higher. It pulls back to support. It's moving higher. Why are these gorgeous Dow and LYB? Look at these. Look at these. Why are these now in play? This is a select sector that you can go through, like Huntsman. This is Archna's. And I forget who else was asking. These are gorgeous, by the way. They are bottom fishing plays. They are trend reversal plays. They have a reason for the season why all of them are moving higher. What's another one? The AK, a client asked about. It was too thin. I wasn't interested. But look at this. Look at this week. Okay, you want to know why they're moving like this? Here's another one. It has options are too thin, so I ignore. These are all basic chemicals and what's going on. You've got the Middle East, Europe, Asia, that have just been immensely affected by the Strait of Hormuz closure. And it is, in all intents and purposes, closed. And now Iran is threatening with the Houthis to go and do the Red Sea. They can't export these chemicals, these feedstock related products. And that will set these U.S. competitors now up and sitting pretty
because their competition was just taken out. Think about this. Rest of the world is going to be contacting them going, I want your stuff now. How do we get it? So they are in a very good position, just like refiners. So this is beyond halo, the stuff that I had already come up with earlier in November, December, January. And I said, this is boomer stocks are your next inflationary assets, and specifically large cap entrenched industry that has things, tons and tons of industrial buildings that process, because you could never, ever rebuild that stuff now at the same cost. That's why this stuff is shrieking higher. So refiners and chemicals, petrochemicals, are really going to be a durable theme for months. I don't think this is a one and done. I think even if we do get some consolidation, like for example, you can have some consolidation once you hit 35 in Dow, it can come back down to 32 and then it can move higher. The point is, I think we have a very strong, durable theme of rotation in select value. It is not necessarily all halo or all industries, but the ones that are also affected by this war.
Join Club to trade with Samantha. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description.